What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, man. So we already know that the Epstein list was allegedly real. Then again, fake. According to the politics of Donald Trump and the House of Representatives and stuff like that, they're saying the list was fake. But there was so much, it's so much sources and so much news outlets and stuff like that, really saying that. Listen, the list is real. But then again, it's like Donald Trump has said, put it to bed, instead the list is fake. And we already know Donald Trump was friends with Epstein, you know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Epstein, who had a private island. A lot of celebrities, billionaires come to his island and have sex with maybe underage women and stuff like that, which is crazy and weird. And now we have Epstein victims that was in that situation and they kind of speaking out. But let's read the article and listen to their news conference. Let's get into it. So it says Epstein's victims compiling list of sexual abusers. Victims of notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein says Wednesday they were compiling a confidential list of his associates who abused underage girls. President Donald Trump, a one-time close friend of the deceased financier, sought meanwhile to dampen the enduring political fury over the Epstein case. This is a Democratic hoax that never ends, Trump told reporters at the White House. They're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president, he said. Trump's comments came as 8 of Epstein's victims held an emotional news conference at the U.S. Capitol, where some of them spoke publicly for the first time about the sexual abuse they suffered. Some of the women were as young as 14 when introduced to Epstein. Wow, 14, that's crazy. We were just kids, says Marina Lorcino, who said she was paid $300 to give an older guy a massage at his New York mansion. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare, says Lorenzo, who was a minor victim wanting Epstein's federal indictment. The women urged the Justice Department to release all the Epstein investigation files and for Congress to pass a bill compelling their publication. There's a host. The abuser was real, said Haley Robinson, who was recruited to give a massage to Epstein when she was 16 years old. Wow. If I disobeyed him, I knew something bad would happen, Robinson said. Epstein died in a New York jail cell in 2019 while waiting trial for sex trafficking of underage girls. And many of Trump's supporters have been obsessed with Epstein's case for years and have held as an article of faith that deep state elites were protecting Epstein associates in the Democratic Party in Hollywood. They were further insist in July when the FBI and Justice Department said that Epstein had committed suicide, did not blackmail any prominent figures, and did not keep a client list. Lisa Phillips, another Epstein victim, said she and other women were putting together a list of their own of Epstein's associates. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them, Phillips said. We will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. Wow, man, this is wow. Like this is very telling and very scary. And I say it's scary because of them now the victims kind of coming out. You know what I mean? But let's listen to the news conference and I get my more reaction.
And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you. And let me announce.
Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey and Ghislaine were always very boastful about their friends, their famous or powerful friends, and his biggest brag forever was that he was very good friends with Donald Trump. He had an 8x10 framed picture of him on his desk with the two of them. Like, they were very close.
Go ahead.
Ghislaine Maxwell, and
survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who is sponsoring a discharge position to get the House to vote on the release of those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had.
Survivors of
Wow, man, this is crazy. Like this is crazy. And you know, I said it's sad because it's like now you got the victims kind of coming out, which is kind of courageous for them to really come out and kind of tell their story. But when I first heard about this right here, the first thing that came to my mind was after I listened to the first conference was that the lady said they got the names, they compiling the names and stuff like that. So my first thing was like, if you got the names, let it out. You know what I'm saying? Say it right that you got this big news conference, man. Tell all the names, tell who all was there in the island, who sexual assaulted y'all and stuff like that. If it's big names, even if it's Donald Trump, go ahead and say the names, you know, and it's like, should she have done that or should she just wait? And another thing is I'm thinking like, okay, maybe they're looking for a settlement. Maybe. I don't know. That's my little theory. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm like, go ahead and release these names. Like, what are you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? These guys did horrendous things to y'all when y'all was like underage and young, you know. So go ahead and release these names so the public can know these names and these guys can get prosecuted, even if it's the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? These guys can get prosecuted for doing the horrendous things that they did on that island. You know, don't wait. Like, let it all out. So I'm like, I don't know why they kind of waiting. I guess they trying to get all the facts and stuff like that. But I'm like, y'all are the facts. Y'all are the witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the victims. So if y'all got all the people that y'all remember who did all this stuff, go ahead and release the names now. Like, what are we waiting on? You know, but then again, that's my own opinion, you know. So maybe they got some more stuff they got to do or collect information from other victims and stuff like that and try to get more victims to come, women to come together that who was there also. I'm not sure, but also y'all not worrying about being your names being protected and stuff like that because y'all out in the open. We all know your name, we know your faces and stuff like that. So you're not really worrying about privacy and stuff. So what are we doing? You know? Listen, but that's all I got for now, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole situation, yo. Y'all think it's like a lot more people like the president of the United States name might be one of them? I don't know, but let me know what y'all think in the comments.